95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. Citi News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu here tonight with
Ejibi Wiafe Akenti.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
That they invited the Americans and they also reached out to Ghana to collaborate.
The Nigerians?
Yes, both the Nigerians and the Americans.
The statement made by Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa about our contribution to fighting insurgents in Nigeria, which has got many, including this NPP MP, angry.
At what stage and through what legal mechanism or framework did our government collaborate and agree with the government of the United States of America to unleash a military action and airstrikes against a terrorist organization in a foreign country, Nigeria?
Also coming up, the shocking revelation from the Minister for the Interior about how 500,000 people applied for recruitment into the security services with a declared vacancy of just 5,000.
As we speak, we still have 105,000 that have qualified for medicals, when in actual sense, the total number that we can now take after medicals is 5,000.
We'll be hearing how the government intends to tackle and deal with this particular matter. And later on Eyewitness News, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to publish names of people who bought state lands during the Akufo-Addo administration. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Ghana Shippers Authority warns of higher freight charges amid Middle East tensions.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations. I'll be giving you a list of stations that bring you this broadcast, and also we're on YouTube and interactive. Let me start off with the Minister for the Interior and Member of Parliament for the Aswase constituency, Honorable Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak. You're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you and your service listeners.
Good evening to you. The recruitment process into our various internal security agencies has been a topical one, and then you called a press conference today. But the statistics you gave were alarming. The indication I get is that, 500,000 people applied to be recruited, but what you really have a vacancy for is way less. Can you tell us more, please?
Well, good evening to you once again. Like you rightly said, coming up to this administration, especially President Dramani Mahama's focus is to reset the agenda, to reset the country, create more transparency, make sure that whatever we are doing is in the open, there's no any secrecy. So obviously, when the time for recruitment came, we had to open for qualified applicants to apply. There's no way you could have imagined that such a large number of applicants to apply. And you know the norms. You set a date and you say that, look, we are opening the portal for 2 weeks. You cannot start in the first day and say that because I've seen over 10,000, because I'm targeting 5,000, I'm going to close the portal. That would be unfair to the youth and those who qualify to want to apply. So we have to wait till the end of the date, only to realize that, yes, these large numbers. Can you imagine currently the total strength of our police, right from the IGP to the last constable, is just around 49,000. Yet we had about over 130,000 individuals applying to join the police. Now, based on we inherited a very difficult economy with a lot of challenges under an IMF program and all these challenges. The space that is available for police to recruit is 2,500 for other ranks and 500 for the cadets Now, with 130,000 applicants, definitely this is a daunting task, because even the current force is just 49,000. With immigration, that's even more shocking, because we ended up realizing that there were more applicants for immigration than even the police. A whopping over 181,000 applicants applied for immigration. But the financial clearance we could get, because of the challenge of the economy, is only 1,000. The current force of the immigration is 18, from the Comptroller General to the last officer. It's around 18,300. Now you have 181,000 over 180,000 applicants, and you have to reduce this to 1,000. Again, fire service, we saw a whopping over 120,000 applicants. Yet their current force is just a little over 17,000. And you have only 1,000 space. Then Ghana Prison Service, their current set is a little over 14,000. And we had over 71,000 applicants. So naturally, I know it is going to come with difficulty, it's going to come with some disappointment, because a lot of the people who have applied were hoping to join these services. And we needed to come up with some method of trying to manage this, because remember, after you apply, you bought the voucher and made the application, there's no any payment for body selection, there's no any payment for documentation, there's no any payment for aptitude. But now you are getting to the next stage, where there's payments involved, that's medical. What I know is that our peers in the military, when they did the Americas, it cost about 1,600. We are even adding mental health and then the drug test to our medicals. Even if the rate is the same, why would you want our senior youth that you know are disadvantaged, because the economy is now recovering, allow them to go to do medicals, over 400,000 of them, when you know you have space for over 5,000? So in the part of the process was that, okay, the aptitude test, we can choose to do 50% as pass mark. We can even choose to do 40% as pass mark. But what would be the implication to the next day? And then before we did, because of the share numbers, we had advertised and told all our applicants that the pass mark will be 65%. Even with the 65%, now we have over 100,000 that have moved to the merit for medical. And there's space for only 5,000. There's a lot of concern, which is rightfully so. And I do appreciate the concern and the worry for the senior youth who want to serve. But I say, we need to be able to allow our economy to recover fully before we can be able to do a lot of this. But even with that, other opportunities are being created. That under the same Ministry of Interior, where we are doing these police assistants, fire assistants, and prison assistants, we engage 25,000 youth, together with the Youth Employment Agency. 15,000 to support the police, 5,000 to support the fire, and 5,000 to support the prison. Not one attended any interview. We managed to do that. In that way, we had to engage virtually minimum 3, almost every district. Not even one went for interview. We had to do informants for the national security. Not interview. So I want to plead with the team in you, especially the rank and file of our party. Now look, let's pray for our economy to recover faster. And remember, this is just the first batch or first phase of the recovery. This started 2025. We are very hopeful as the economy is growing. Hopefully, maybe later part of this year, we'll do the second batch. And we are assuring the applicants that the data we have is going to be kept and be used in the subsequent phase. So the second phase, the third phase, as things improve, people will be brought in. But we can't use just one recruitment expert to deal with all these huge numbers. It is just not possible, like I've just told you. The current police force is at 49,000. How are you going to be able to engage additional over 130,000 to come up that you are going to add to the police? where will you even space, the fiscal space? Currently, under the Ministry of Interior, having narcotics control about 3,000, police about 50, about that 49,000, immigration about 18,000, fire about 17,000, then prison about 14,000. The wage bill under the Ministry of Interior and for these security services is over 12 billion. It's over 12 billion. So even when you are going to pick the training, their uniform, their accoutrement, and all that, it's a lot of money. And so we are just pleading with our youth to have patience, to know that we have them at heart, but we cannot use one single recruitment exercise to deal with all the problems. We are showing them that we are keeping the data and we'll be using it subsequently. Maybe all that we'll be calling for people to do is to come and do the medical, because as you know, medicals they expire after 3 months, some after 6 months, so that at least we'll use this data that we are keeping. So I don't want them to think that all is lost. There's still hope, except that let's continue to pray for the faster recovery of our economy. And then when more space is created, we will be able, we don't have to go and take any engines anywhere. It's the same citizen, and we have this data that we'll be using. So that's not of the game for those who have even failed who couldn't qualify with the aptitude test, because if we were to change the aptitude test and now use 50% as the pass mark, a lot more will cover. So we are keeping that data, and that's an assurance that we are giving them.
And is it because you needed to reduce the numbers or prune the numbers so badly? We are told that some of the questions that were asked were very difficult. In an attempt to reduce the numbers, your aptitude test, we were told, was very, very, very difficult for the people, so you can easily disqualify. Is that true?
No, one of the things that is that the agencies, so like prison brought a set of questions, fire brought a set of questions, immigration brought a set of questions, and police brought a set of questions that were given to the vendor to serve as the pool. So when it is your turn, it randomly select those questions for you. I don't want to believe that the questions were necessarily set to be difficult without a money number, but definitely it's not the number. Let's assume that this when the portal opened, all we had applying were 10,000 applicants, and we are going to take 5,000. I want to believe the aptitude test, the pass mark will have been set at 40, just to be able to make sure that a sizable number gets to medical, because you see, one of the things that is very difficult is that if somebody has underlying condition, medically, it is very difficult. If somebody is on drugs, if somebody has mental issues, or if somebody has cardiac issues, you take them for training, they go and lose their life there. So you don't want that. So you want a sizable number to go for medicals to enable you select the best to go for training. But if the number, so like I said, if the number was 10,000 or say 7,000, you are going to take 5,000. The pass mark would have even been 35 or 30, just to be able to allow many more people to get to NSC. But because the number is also very large, you do not want to create a situation where you allow, because doing the medical, like I said, is very expensive. You don't allow people to go through this expensive exercise of making this huge payment, only when you know there's only space, small space. So that's why we have to do this, to manage the process so that we do not get to a stage where it becomes even more difficult for the swimming youth.
Now, you are the minister also in charge of national security. This is a national security matter that we have 500,000 people applying for a slot of 5,000. As a member of the NDC, a party that has come with a mantra to save us, and also the minister responsible for national security, how do you see us getting out of this? During the Kufuor administration, we introduced a National Youth Employment Program after the National Security Minister at the time, Francis Poku, said youth unemployment was a national security threat. This, I believe, would also be a national security threat. How do we deal with it?
Well, I mean, like I told you, that's why you realize that when under the youth employment model, we added this security part. You've seen that, I mean, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is doing blue water guard. So we, even in cabinet, all of us are encouraged to look at the ministries that we are running and our agencies and create opportunities, no matter how few they are, so that we'll be able to constantly engage the youth. And I think that most of my colleagues in their various sectors are looking after that. I mean, whether from education, from health, everybody is trying to come out with something that may also help. In the Ministry of Interior itself, we will continue to look at how to partner private people to engage our team youth. For private security organizations, we are trying to streamline it. We are trying to ensure that, look, mangas are trained so that when they are properly trained, they have to be properly paid. Look, today you have people at filling stations as vendors or who just as attendants. They don't do any background check on them. We want to be able to train them so that people can pay them well. You are sure that the people that you are dealing with are people that have been cleared, that they can be honest. If there is difficulty, you can trace them. All these things that we are trying to do is to create better opportunity for many of our team youth. But because of the way they are structured today, let's take, say, private security organizations. The way they are structured today, they are conflict ones within the system. So they are not able to charge commensurate, what do you call it, evaluation for their service and be able to pay these youth very well. We are trying to streamline all this so that at least young men can do decent job and get decent salary. These are all some of the things that we ourselves are doing. And we are encouraging almost all our colleagues and agencies to come up with innovative ways of engaging our youth so that we don't continue to have this kind of situation.
Okay.
Let me add, Sandra, lastly, very important. We also notice that people just want to take jobs. For example, you have people who are teachers, who are nurses, who are other professionals who simply want to just shift jobs. Yes, we appreciate that, but currently one of the things that we are also doing is to match the data that we have with the Controller and Accountant General's data. So that if you are somebody who is already engaged, you already have job, in other weeks that you will be part of the other badges, instead of now coming in to take the few spaces that are meant for those who do not have job at all. Unless you are carrying a profession that is badly needed. Because, for example, I know the police. We have police hospital in Kumasi that we commission. The Tamale one is ready for commission, and I said that no, I just don't want to go and commission when they are not function because we don't have the necessary health workers to run them. So unless you are part of that kind of system where the police need a nurse or a doctor or a pharmacy or other things, if you are on government payroll, we'll try and make you rather wait into the other badges. Whilst we on this first batch, we focus on those who do not have job at all.
Minister, so the figure is 500,000. It is possible that that's the number of people who are, the number of applications, but it's also possible that the number of human beings may not be up to 500,000 because one person could apply for 3 or 4 of the services. Is that a possibility so that maybe the number may not be as huge in terms of the number of human beings who apply?
Yes, you are perfectly right. This we did run it, and you see that the actual numbers, the number of individuals is a little over 390,000 because some have done multiple applications, and we've run that because of the way the system is centralized. And this is one of the things that is also helping because the medical guys don't have to go and do a medical for police because you apply for police and do medical for immigration or do medical for that. So all that have been done. But even when you do it, because it's not all the individuals that were able to buy maybe multiple forms like 2, 3, or 4. Like the actual human beings, when we did check from the system, it's hovering around 390,000.
Okay. Lastly, someone has sent me a screenshot of their application. So the recruitment stage is the first stage 1, online application completed, status qualified. Stage 2, documentation completed, status qualified. Stage 3, body selection completed, status qualified. Now I came to stage 4, aptitude test completed, status disqualified. Remarks: your exam session recorded multiple proctoring violations beyond the permissible limit. The person wants to know what that means. Can you help us, please?
The line got that.
Yeah, so the last stage of the person's recruitment stage is
your results say something.
So is that your exam session recorded multiple proctoring violations beyond the permissible limit? And the person said doesn't understand, but they've been disqualified.
Yeah, so the challenge is that with a greater respect to most of our youth, many thought that portal they could cheat, for lack of better word, they could cheat by trying to get someone to do or to answer for you or try to copy. The system is such that, Sandra, AU has been using this system for over a decade. Once you take off your eyes from the camera of your either laptop or this thing, within 20 seconds, maximum 30 seconds, it will start you off. And it will give you like 3-4 opportunities. So when you try copying or try to get somebody, because your picture is already loaded up from before you started the test, if you try to get someone to stand behind you to guide you, it will detect it and then it will cut you off. And then automatically you disqualify yourself. That's how the system is structured. It's not like if it was done manually, you were in the exam hall and you were caught copying. Automatically, you get disqualified.
So they wrote the exams using computer cameras, and then so if you are seen fidgety or looking away, the camera or the computer automatically concludes that you were attempting to cheat.
You are attempting to cheat. Okay. Because it gives you a number of opportunities. Maybe you've done that for the first time, it will target. Second, the third one, it will take you off. That means you are deliberately trying to cheat the system.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, and wish you all the best, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's Honorable Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak. He's NDC Member of Parliament for Aswasi, Minister for the Interior with additional role as the person in charge of our national security. Let me talk about national security a bit further on this matter. Brigadier General retired Nunu Mensah was a Chief of Defense Staff. He also served as National Security Advisor in the Mills government. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much. I am ready for you.
It sounds scary to hear that 500,000 people are applying to enter our security services. Are these people simply wanting to protect our country, engage in security agencies, or we get a sense that they are actually looking for jobs? You were once interested in human security when you were National Security Advisor. This is a human security matter.
Thank you very much. First of all, who am I talking to?
This is Umaru Sanda, sir.
Umaru, nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm marching towards 90.
Hey, Numo Ogbo, congratulations. God bless you.
And for the young ones, I'm going to march towards 90 when I get my level.
Wait, but how old exactly are you today? If you are marching towards 90, where have you reached now?
Means I've got 89. I'm taking steps towards 90. By December, I'll be 90.
So in December, you'll be 90. We'll bring you cake. We'll bring you cake.
You're most welcome.
God bless you. Please proceed, sir.
In my time when I was a young man, I come from Winneba. I don't know how much of Winneba you know. But everybody in my family was a fisherman. My mother's father was a fisherman. My father's father was a fisherman. And yet, I wrote to become, as you said in your introduction, 2 times Chief of Defense Staff. And then, not only that, but after I grew up and I got into the army, I've been to almost every major capital in the world. Shanghai, the top school in the world, army school. India, Canada, Soviet Union, almost everywhere. And there's never that I thought I was desperate looking for work, that, I should join I joined the military because the military actually came for me. I didn't come for the military. I didn't go for the military. I was leaving school. I wanted to service the Ghana Military Academy. It needed more young people to join. I didn't go to any good school like in France, Machimoto, whatever. Winneba was one of the ordinary schools. Hardly, passing examination. But I was able to make myself, who I am today. Today, the young people in Ghana, all you hear about them is joining the military, joining the immigration, joining, nothing more than that. Is that only work you have in Ghana? Or we can't create any work for young people to do, except to be policemen, immigration, military? There's no other work. These young people are desperate. They're looking for a way to survive. And none of our government is able to provide them the wherewithal to be able to survive like I did. couldn't pay my school fees. My parents were fishermen. But there's a time when the government that made sure that I became somebody. I'm not giving anybody one person to get to wherever I've been to. But if you are going to get young people to join the immigration, the military, the police, or whatnot, and nothing else, it would not be enough to you people when I'm gone. And one of these days, when the old man is gone, are you going to be able to manage Ghana if you go on like this? Can you go and feed Ghana? Not long ago, I heard some women were going to Burkina Faso to buy tomatoes, and they were accosted, and some of them were shot. How can we go and buy tomatoes from Burkina? Have they got better living conditions, climatic conditions than we have in Ghana? No. But because we can't, if you go to Winnipeg, which is my hometown, we destroy the road anyway to Winnipeg. And then you go and buy onions, which are coming from Burkina. I mean, why? And Mali. What is wrong with us? Maybe you can tell me, Umaru. I can understand Ghanaians. To be able to go, and the main job of the military is to shoot to kill. To shoot, that's the main job of the soldier, to shoot to kill. So the military are just a place you can go and make money, buy land cruise or whatever. But the job, when I joined the army, I did ordinary level, and I became chief of defense 2 times, and so on. So I don't know how comfortable you people are.
So my question is, as a state, as a government, your time it was easy. There were more slots than applicants. Unfortunately, this time around, there are more applicants than slots. How do we deal with that? Because it's a youth for entry into the security service, and it's an issue of
for agriculture. Why not for something else apart from immigration? The armed forces. Why no other job? Is that the only job that you can do? When I was retired by the Riemann government, I want to have a farm near Hachu, and a farm like ordinary person. The young people don't want to work. They want money, but they don't want to work. They want to have land cruisers with air conditions. Soldiers don't drive in land cruisers. They are not meant for soldiers. Soldiers fight on their stomachs, shooting from the ground, not from land cruisers. But the way we people are running Ghana, woe unto you. I'm not going to be there. But I don't think you are going to survive if you go on like this. Today, our water bodies have all been polluted. People are destroying our water bodies, putting poisons, killing us. And you are telling me that you cannot marry these people except when they go and dig gold and muddy our waters and kill us. That's how best you can run Ghana. I thought you can run Ghana much better than this.
Are you suggesting then that the young men who are applying to enter the security service, we redirect them to agriculture? And
you don't direct them. You join them. You match them. You move with them. Leadership is by example. Leadership is by example. You don't order them in your land cruiser if you go and farm. Go and farm with them. When I had a farm in Aboba, the farm is still there. The farm is still there. And I farm. I didn't sit in land cruiser and say, go and farm. You farm with them. You lead them by example. Teach them what to do by joining them. When I left the national security, I was actually with the information security. I built about 6 school blocks. I built them myself with my own sweat and energy. I built a rally. I built Winnipeg Secondary School, a block named after me. I built a school at Aguna Saban. I built what do you call it? Maurice Near High School. A few days ago, they came to me for help. I don't run Ghana.
Okay.
We're not running the country properly, and we are going to pay the price for it. Young people want jobs. They don't want to join. They want job. They want any job to do. But because you can't offer them anything, they join the police. They join immigration. They join the armed forces. I was going to not join. I was going to go have a professional career in education. But because my parents were so poor, the army can't join the army.
Okay.
And the army has been good for me. So I'm saying that stop going after them. I think the only job in the world. There are many jobs. But because we don't have leaders who can inspire the young people, without leadership, without duration, but you can manage them and then get them from polluting our water bodies to farm. Instead of us going to Burkina Faso to go and buy food, and our women are being accosted by the criminals over there. We are giving them the chance to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us.
God bless you, Maru.
God bless you too. That's Brigadier General retired Joseph Nunu Mensah. He was a Chief of Defense Staff twice and also served as National Security Advisor for the Republic of Ghana. In the Western region, we are live on Ajunpa 100.7 FM in Takrady. That's Eyewitness News broadcasting there. In the Takrady enclave itself, we are on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM. Eyewitness News is in Sunyani on Greener 95.9 FM. That's in the Bono region. We are in Nkawie in the Ashanti region on Ajunpa 99.9 FM. In Volta region, we are in Hohwe on Heritage FM 107.3. In Sogakopa, we are on Freedom 88.1 FM. If you go to the northern region, we are on Saboba on radio. We are in Saboba on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM. In the Upper East region, we are on Quality FM 88.7 FM in Garu. We are on Bolga 102.7 FM in Bolga Tanga. In the Northeast region, we are on Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalerugu. In Upper West, we are on Pupeli Radio 92.7 in Wa. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and we are interactive. Join us with your messages 0549 986 996 at Umaru Sanda. That's my handle on X, or at Citi 973. The world will hear. What do you think? This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When we return, we'll hear from the Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources. It says it will publish names of all people who bought lands during the Akufo-Addo administration, i.e. from 2017 to 2024. People who bought public lands. And then we'll hear the comments that the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Ghana's foreign minister, made, which has got some people unhappy. Stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Kuma has always dreamt of commanding his own military forces.
Attention! Eyes right, stand at ease.
Because that dream is still a vision in progress, he spends his time commanding his money with the EcoBank mobile app.
Operation Supplier Payment. Dispatch 1,000 units of currency from Accra to Benin. Move! Move!
Sometimes he wants a little extra control so that he can buy only what he needs.
Command Center mobile app. Activate virtual card protocol and initiate payments for sneakers and t-shirts. Abort mission for leather coat payment.
Even when the general is fast asleep, his standing order marches out to sort his bills. With the EcoBank mobile app, you can command your money to make safe transactions in Ghana and across 33 African countries. Download the EcoBank mobile app on the Play or App Store today.
By the left, about turn.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. Now, what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Welcome to Max Buy. Hey Jerry, this is your phone. Who you ever pay for camp pill? What is this?
Babe, relax. Today is the day I turn water into wine. We're in the promised land. Max Buy is here to save us, okay?
You're welcome to Max Buy, Ghana's #1 electronic retail store. How may I help you?
You know, my queen deserves the best. Show me your top gadget here.
At Max Buy, we've got it all. Mobile phones, smart TVs, air conditioners, kettles, microwaves, blenders, and more.
Babe, imagine our anniversary selfie with this Techno Camon 30S. Everybody would think that we are Ghana's Jay-Z and Beyonce. Power couple, papa.
Call us on 054-401-9552.
With over 40 shops nationwide, flexible payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. The Minister for Foreign Affairs and MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has been speaking in the UK at an event, a Chatham House event. And during the interaction, he spoke about a contribution that Ghana made to the Christmas Day attack on insurgents in Nigeria. I want us to listen to that because there are some people who are unhappy with that statement that he made. Let's listen to him.
Well, everybody knows that Ghana has a defense cooperation agreement with the U.S. Approved by our parliament, and not only with the U.S. but with many other strategic partners, including the U.K., a number of Gulf states. We do these things in our strategic national interest, and we are also careful to draw the lines. And so there's a red line. We do not accept military bases in our country. And I'm sure that what is happening in the Middle East now vindicates Ghana's position. We have historically prevented Western powers from establishing military bases in our country. And I believe that those who initially were not sure why Ghana was very stern about this position now appreciate that. Having said that, we also take the view that any cooperation, any intervention must be on a case-by-case basis, and there has to be express approval. So the recent attacks in Nigeria, the Nigerians will confirm to you that they invited the Americans, and they also reached out to Ghana to collaborate.
The Nigerians?
Yes, both the Nigerians and the Americans. So that's how we are playing this out. Sovereignty has to be respected. Territorial integrity has to be respected. You must be invited.
So that's Honorable Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa. His namesake is MPP Member of Parliament for Damongo. He's a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Honorable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Omar, for having me, and good evening to your listeners.
Good evening to you. What's your problem with what the minister said in the UK?
Well, not so much a problem. We're just concerned about three important matters. The first one is that the minister, as you heard him, disclosed publicly in his interaction in London at Chatham House that Ghana was used as a launch pad to attack terrorist group ISIS in Nigeria. And so the first question we have, as in a minority, is within what legal framework did this attack take place from our territory and from our shores as a country? As you know, governments and countries, sovereign countries, operate on the basis of international law and international legal framework. And therefore, if Ghana is used as a base or as a platform to launch such attacks against terrorist organizations in Nigeria, it is just important that we pose the question that what is the legal framework? Is it, for example, is it some defense treaty or some defense cooperation agreement we have with the United States? And if so, pursuant to Article 75 of our national constitution, has that been presented to Parliament and has it been ratified by Parliament as is required by the tenets of our national constitution? We all, members of the Foreign Affairs Committee and members of the Defense and Intelligence Committee, heard about this operation which took place from our country. Like everybody else, we've not been briefed. The committees have not been briefed. Parliament has not been briefed. No agreement or legal framework has been presented to Parliament, and that is a major cause of concern. So that's our first concern. The second one is the ratification. If there's any such legal framework between Ghana and the United States which allows the United States to use Ghana as a launch pad to launch military attacks in Nigeria, such agreement should be brought to Parliament. And the third concern and final concern is these corporations, as we all know, this is basic and this is trite, have far-reaching implications on our national security. as you can well attest to, the ongoing conflict in the Middle East is playing out forcefully, where countries that are hosting United States bases and installations and corporations with the United States are becoming subject countries of attack. And therefore, we all are very familiar with the terrorist situation in West Africa. What is the national security implication for our country? What measures have been put in place to ensure that Ghanaians do not become targets of terrorist groups or do not become vulnerable and are not put in harm's way? So these are the three important questions we've raised, and we've begun to take steps in Parliament to get a minister to appear before Parliament, to brief Parliament, to answer questions in Parliament, so that as representatives of the people, we will hold the government accountable and there will be transparency in all of these discussions.
Okay, two questions. You use the word launchpad, suggesting Ghana was used as a launchpad for the attack. I did not catch that in the minister's voice, which voice I played. He did not say we were used as a launchpad. Where launchpad here would mean what is happening in U.S. bases in the Middle East, as you have referenced. I do not think you have a U.S. base here, and I'm not sure his voice suggested that they launched the attack from Ghana. That's the first question. The second question, I do know that per the Constitution, in which the Supreme Court has since interpreted, international agreements would have to be brought to Parliament for ratification. Do you consider this an international agreement in that sense, for which reason you are asking for parliamentary approval?
It's exactly because of these two questions you've posed and the ambiguity surrounding it, which is why the minister should come clean, if I can use that expression, and should come very clear and be transparent to the people of Ghana, and that can only be done through the representatives of the people, which is Parliament.
Yeah, but why would it be? But under what law are you making this request? Because the Constitution doesn't say that. Is there any enactment that says before we have a collaboration with another country, which we've always had in the past, like he has said, you need to come and inform Parliament? Because he has not said we did anything specifically that require parliamentary ratification. Can you point to which of them?
The minister said very clearly that we cooperated with the United States of America to have these strikes or these military action taken in Nigeria against terrorist groups. And we are saying very simply, what are the terms of that cooperation? What was the nature of that cooperation? Is it the case we provided them with intelligence? Is it the case that they used Ghana as a base to launch these attacks? What is the legal basis on which that cooperation took place? What are the implications for our national security? And you have just been posing some of those questions as well, that you don't get that the minister said this or said that. In order to put all of those matters to rest, that is why Parliament, being the representatives of the people, is the platform or the forum through which governmental actions are scrutinized, which is why it is absolutely important, instead of the minister making these disclosures at Chatham House, which is a foreign institute on a foreign land, he should do so through the committees or the plenary of Parliament, where we are told clearly that in December 2025, the Ghanaian government collaborated with the United States to conduct this operation in Nigeria. This was the nature of the operation. This is the support we gave. This is the legal framework within which that was done. This is the legality of it. And finally, these are the implications for our country, and these are the measures we put in place to safeguard the national security of our country. These are legitimate questions, and every country anywhere in the world will ask those questions. Today in the United Kingdom, there's a lot of talk in the House of Commons about the extent to which the Keir Starmer government is involved in the ongoing war in the Middle East. In several parts of the world, the questions are being asked. And if in our country, we are told suddenly, from nowhere, from a foreign land, that the United States of America launched a military action in Nigeria against a terrorist group, and Ghana cooperated with them, the Ghanaian people ought to know the terms of that cooperation.
So you are no more going to stick to the use of the word launchpad. You do agree that your use of the word as Ghana being a launchpad may not be entirely accurate if we were to quote the minister based on everything we've heard from him publicly.
That is my clear understanding of what the minister said. I've listened to the minister. My understanding of what he meant by the cooperation, I listened to him very carefully, is that the operation was taken from Ghana.
Very well.
And we want to know the terms and how and why Ghana was used and which legal framework that kind of operation or that kind of cooperation took place. And we're entitled to know. I think that we will be inviting the minister to appear before Parliament.
And on the statement itself, based on your knowledge as someone looking at our international relations matters, should the Minister for Foreign Affairs make such a statement in the public about our collaboration and our relationship with other countries, especially in handling matters like the terrorist group that we are dealing with in northern Nigeria?
Well, I think in the best of worlds, in the best of arrangements, these discussions should take place within the proper legal and institutional confines or corridors of our country before they are let out. So, for example, Parliament should not be hearing this from Chatham House, which is typically, if we strip it of all its niceties, the UK version of their Foreign Relations Institute platform. Really, it's a foreign institute. Parliament should not be hearing this kind of revelation from a foreign institute. Civil society should not be hearing this from a foreign institute. The media should not be hearing from a foreign institute. And Ghanaians should not be hearing this from a foreign institute. And if such cooperation is supposed to have taken place 3 months ago, and we find out about the cooperation on the airwaves, and these are very sensitive national security issues. And as I said, they can have implications for our country and the security of our nationals, because these terrorists are all over in West Africa. And we are now being told that Ghana is cooperating with the United States to fight these terrorists. What are the implications for Ghanaian national security?
Okay.
So yes, you can make your interpretations as to whether or not you should have said it or not, but I would have preferred that the relevant state institutions were brought into the picture before this disclosure was made.
Very well. Before you go, the government, the Ministry for Lands, a ministry you once headed, has said is going to publish names and details of all people who bought public lands between 2017 and 2024. You were at the ministry in the past. Care to comment on that? The man who succeeded you as deputy, Yusuf Suleiman, is the one who made the statement.
Yes, we are also told that the minister has lifted a ban on the sale of public lands. These publications are fully welcomed. We have everything to do with the public lands of our country, as I've always maintained when I had the privilege and honor of being the minister responsible for lands. Should be transparent, should be opened up clearly. And so such disclosure or publication are fully welcomed. And the lifting of the ban.
You're not worried that we may see, skeletons in that cupboard of yours that you left behind?
Really, there's nothing to hide. If we publish everything, there's absolutely nothing to hide. We in all humility and modesty, we went in to just serve. We didn't go to do anything for our personal benefit. So they can publish it. But I think also it's important for us to point out that it's becoming too much talk now. I mean, 1 year, 3 months into the administration, enough of the talking. If they have anything, which they think they should put out in the public domain, they should do so. And the administration of our lands in Ghana is a major thing, it's big. So if anybody has done anything untoward, they should investigate the people and bring them to book. They have the power now. They are no more in opposition.
Thank you.
So I think enough of the talk. Let them get on with the work.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's Robert Samuel Abdullah Jinapor, is NPP Member of Parliament for Damongo. He's a ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Let's hear from Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, who is MP for the constituency of President John Dramani Mahama now, the Honorable Yusuf Suleiman Bole. Let's listen.
Review of the Public Land Application Form. This form is popularly known as Form 5. There have been some amendments, some changes to it. The Ministry, in collaboration with the Lands Commission, has completed a comprehensive revision of the Public Land Application Form, widely known as Form 5. The revised Form 5 now serves as the official application form for all public land transactions in Ghana. It will function as the single mandatory application instrument nationwide for all public land applications, including both reapplications arising from the recent review exercise and all future applications. You'll recall that some applications were cancelled. We are saying that those people have the opportunity to reapply. And if they were to reapply, they'll be using this new approach, this new form. The Honorable Minister has also issued a directive to the Lands Commission to publish the revised Form 5 on the official website of the Lands Commission. Applicants will therefore be able to download, complete, and submit the form electronically.
Yusuf Sulemana is Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and MP for Bole. Up next is Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Join the Republic vest. Do more, shine more, big up.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house,
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic Verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Are you ready to revolutionize the future of agriculture? The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, in partnership with the Ghana Exim Bank, proudly presents the Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026. The fair will feature exhibitions, market linkages, masterclasses, and workshops on climate-smart farming, digital tools, and export development. Join us at the Black Star Square from March 17 to March 19 at 9 a.m. each day. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will be assisted by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofuswejari, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Honorable Sylvester Adina Mensah, to open the fair. Government agencies, agrotech firms, startups, farmers, financial institutions, and the general public are all welcome. To exhibit or for inquiries, call 0559 679326 or 0242 585419. Media partners: Daily Graphic, Media General, Radio Gold, Citi FM, and Channel 1 TV. Ghana Agrotech Fair 2026, transforming agribusiness through local innovation and technology.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. And what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ejibi Wiafe Akente. Let's settle for the details. The Ghana Shippers Authority has warned importers and exporters to prepare for higher freight charges and longer shipping times following disruptions to global maritime trade linked to escalating tensions involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. In a notice issued to industry stakeholders, the authority said the conflict is affecting vessel traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical shipping corridors. The GSA noted that several shipping lines have been suspended or rerouted vessels due to security concerns, with some now diverting around the Cape of Good Hope. Away from that, government is being urged to accelerate the implementation of strategic energy transition policies to reduce Ghana's exposure to global oil price shocks. The call follows renewed geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, which analysts warn could disrupt global supply and push fuel prices higher for import-dependent economies like Ghana. There's more in the following report.
The warning comes as global oil markets reacted sharply to escalating tensions in the Middle East, pushing crude prices higher earlier in the week. Although prices have begun to ease slightly, analysts say markets remain on the edge amid fears that any prolonged conflict could disrupt supply and drive fuel costs higher for import-dependent economies like Ghana. Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Nsia, speaking to Citi Business News, said Ghana must broaden its energy transition strategy beyond electricity generation to include the transport sector, which accounts for a large share of petroleum consumption. He explained that accelerating policies that promote electric vehicles and cleaner transport technologies could help reduce the country's reliance on imported fuel and cushion the economy against future oil price shocks.
I think that as a country, we must relook at our energy security strategies and ensure that within our energy security framework, we have more of renewable energy or transition energy, so that this insulates us from some of these geopolitical tensions. Beyond having that in the energy sector, by accelerating or fast-tracking the implementation of transition and renewable energies as embedded in most of the policy frameworks when it comes to renewable and then a transition framework, I also think that we must integrate that also into our transport sector because the dependence of transport sector on fossil fuel is too high in the country. So we must begin to fast-track, whether through legislative means, whether through regulatory means or executive means, we must begin to realign and harmonize most of the policies within the e-mobility sector so that we can, as a matter of urgency, implement policies that will fast-track and accelerate the usage or distribution of e-mobility in Ghana. And that will go a long way in the medium term to insulate us from some of these global shocks.
Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Nsia, ending that report filed by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakete. Now, professional services firm PwC Ghana has highlighted the need for stronger collaboration between private sector institutions and academia to better prepare young professionals, particularly women, for leadership roles in Ghana's evolving business environment. The call was made during a mentoring session organized in partnership with the University of Ghana Business School to mark celebration of the International Women's Day 2026. Deals partner and corporate responsibility, inclusion and diversity leader at PwC, Clara Amatefio-Taylor, said mentorship and practical exposure play a critical role in helping young professionals understand and access opportunities available within the corporate sector.
Now you have more female leadership development programs. You have concerted efforts and policies in a number of organizations that seek to not only recruit women, but empower them with the communication, the technical, and the softer skills that are required for them to be in leadership roles. And we also see that within our own nation, Ghana. For the first time, we have females in very senior positions, including our vice president. As a private institution, we see training opportunities. We also look at sessions, also guidance, because in some cases, the reason why people cannot access opportunities is one, they don't know about the existence of the opportunities, and two, they've not been rightly guided on how they can leverage on those opportunities, which is why we are here as a private institution, because we believe in supporting from that angle. On the government angle, you can see that a number of female empowerment initiatives are in place, and both government and private sector work collaboratively to ensure that the opportunities are not only gender-based, but we also look at other marginalized groups that require various opportunities for them to make the most of the skills and the abilities that they have.
Clara Amatefio-Taylor is a deals partner and corporate responsibility, inclusion and diversity lead at PwC Ghana. Now, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahene says the Bank of Ghana's decision to rebalance part of its gold reserves into foreign exchange assets was justified, citing the need to meet Ghana's external debt obligations and maintain adequate liquidity in the country's reserve portfolio. His comments come after Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, briefed Parliament's Economy and Development Committee on the central bank's recent reserve management actions and other banking sector developments. According to him, the move reflects a standard reserve management strategy used by central banks when faced with immediate foreign currency obligations.
Just having gold there does not actually sterilize or boost your reserves because you have it. But if you don't manage it very well, sell it at the time you need it, and continue to beef it up, you may have gold, and suddenly the gold prices can come to $2,000, and you want to make a loss. So for us, the debt was there for it to be paid. So I think in managing financial management, in foreign exchange management, he did that by selling some of the gold to go and pay nearly $1 billion. And apart from that, just after paying that, they had to also pay the DDEP. DDEP was about $10 billion. And I can assure you, the government at that time has not even generated any tax to be able to say that you're going to pay the debt. So these are part of the management of the currency. So for me, the explanation governor gave, if you have been in the seat or if you have done foreign exchange transactions, you've been dealing in treasury management and all, you would appreciate what he did. People think that we can hedge and continue to have gold until it's down to $6,000. But when you have a liability to pay, you need to make sure that you pay it. And as we paid, it has affected our credit rating. That's why we are being rated close, I think, to B- or thereabouts.
Banking consultant Dr. Richard Etiahene. And that's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Join the Republic verse. Do more, shine more, big up. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akente. Up next is Point Blank.
Mr. Kojo, 1 minute before you go to work. The AC you said you want to fix, it won't work.
Why?
Because the electrician will come and chisel my wall. It will make my building weak. Wait, is that a puppy? No animals in my house,
Kojo knows all the challenges about renting. That was his reality until he discovered Republic Bank. With Republic Bank's flexible mortgage solutions, you can move from tenant to homeowner quickly. Imagine stepping into your own home, a place for your family to grow and create memories. Big up. Join the Republic Verse. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Ramadan Kareem, a season of peace, blessings and giving. Electroland Ghana Limited is bringing blessings into your home with special value deals on Samsung, TCL, Media and NASCO. NASCO TVs from just $699, bottom fridge freezer from $1999, chest freezer from $1999, Samsung 6kg twin tab washing machine for 2,999 Ghana cedis, Samsung microwaves from 1,799 Ghana cedis, TCL 43 inches for 2,999 Ghana cedis, TCL water dispenser for 1,599 Ghana cedis, TCL front load inverter for 5,999 Ghana cedis, media air cooler for 1,499 Ghana cedis, air fryer, juicer, stand mixer and blender at all special Ramadan prices. Visit EGL showrooms and authorized dealers nationwide. Call us on 0503-159739 and on our website at www.electrolandgh.com. Electroland Ghana, bringing Ramadan value home.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight on Point Blank, my guest is from the Ashanti region. The people of his constituency gave him the opportunity to serve them for the first time in 2024 at the elections or at the polls. So he's a first-time member of parliament representing the people of Kwabre East. He has a very nice afro hair, beautiful beard. Akwesi Jemfi Onyina Echampon. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well. You look very young. Oh.
Yes, I look very young.
But you're not young.
I mean, it depends on your perspective.
So are you between 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60?
40 to 50.
What? Oh, you don't look it at all.
Yes,
you don't look
between
it
40. I'm in my late 40s.
Oh,
So,
really?
okay, so just above the mid 46.
I just saw your grey beard. Grey in your beard. I think
Yes,
that's, okay.
so
Then you have a baby face.
Yes, people say so.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Congratulations on your elections.
Thank you.
Are you married? Sorry.
Yes, I'm married with 6 kids.
I'm lost on it. I cannot count. Wow.
Yes.
You don't look it.
Yeah.
You look very young. Who are you, by the way, aside the fact that you have 6 kids? And you're going to plan to have more, I know.
Well, as for the more, we will see. But yes, the name Onyina Champon, MP for Kwabre East. I had secondary school education, Kumasi High School.
Kuhis,
yes. And so that was so I was part of the old system where we had ordinary level and then advanced
so
level.
O level?
Yes. So, but then I went into the first year very young, at the age of 9 years. So when I did my ordinary level, I was 14 years.
Okay.
And then I did advanced level at the same place, I was 16. I did my first degree, University of Cape Coast, 2001, with B.Ed Psychology, the first class honors.
Oh, so you're a teacher?
Yes, supposed to be, but a teacher in training, but not in practice.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, traveled a bit to the UK, 2001, stayed there for 5 years. Then came back to Ghana, worked in cocoa industry, Sompa Cocoa, till 2011. Then I joined what used to be called Amajaro.
Oh.
And which metamorphosed to become Ecom. So Ecom took over Amajaro in 2013. And so I joined Amajaro as a district manager. Then we used to call it franchise holder, basically overseeing the cocoa operations at Diaso, which is in the Upper Dentra West. And so after 1 year, I got series of promotions. So I became area manager, operations manager. Then in 2017, I became the general manager. So Ecom was a subsidiary with 5 companies. So we had 5 companies in one. So I became general manager for Unicom Commodities. And Unicom Commodities also had another company buying cashew. So that was Unicom Specialty Commodities. So I was general manager for 2 companies at one.
Interesting. So you are a cocoa guy.
So I'm a cocoa guy. So I've been in the cocoa industry since 2005 until 2024, and I resigned. 7 years of those years have been as GM.
Do you own a cocoa farm?
Yes, I have 2 cocoa farms.
Okay.
One at Wasamampon and one at Dentra.
Let me ask you a practical question.
Yes.
The government promised to buy cocoa at a certain figure.
Yeah.
Then when it came to it, the government said, listen, and the reason is that where we are going to sell the thing, they are not collecting that money that we promised you. So the option before us is to either keep waiting until we get some help, or we give you at a reduced price.
Yeah.
As a cocoa farmer, we've already gone past it, but I want to know, what do you make of that government decision, and what would you have done if you were made this offer by the government?
Okay, so let me take it from the perspective of a cocoa farmer. So as a cocoa farmer, I'll be looking at, one, as you said, what the government promised to do and what it has actually done. And you have to bear in mind that most of these farmers are not literate enough to understand the dynamics of the world cocoa price and how it plays out. One, to understand also the dynamics of the cocoa board debt. And three, also the brought forward contracts that cocoa board could not fulfill. And these three things have been the basis of why the government has decided to reduce the prices. So as a cocoa farmer, it will be very difficult to juxtapose the promises the government gave in the run-up to the 2024 elections and what is actually happening now, especially when in the tenure of this government, it has increased the price twice. So it increased from 3,100 to 3,228, then increased again from 3,228 to 3,625. So if you come and tell me now that the prices have dropped, that's why you are reducing, then, or you give also some of the issues that, oh, there was debt, there was rollover contracts, then as a farmer, I ask these questions. Then on what basis did you increase the price twice in a space of 2 or 3 months? On what basis? Were these conditions not prevalent before? They were. When you assumed office, they were. So why did you then increase those prices twice? And so it baffles the farmer's mind. So it becomes difficult for a farmer like me to understand. But also...
And it's not because you're a politician who has been whipped into line by the MPP whip to say that it is not a proper deal, even though you know that you cannot go and you cannot buy from me what you cannot go and sell. Okay, so as a farmer, if you don't understand how these international markets work, at least you do know that the government is saying they cannot pay you more than they will get. Okay,
so let me tell you. So basically, I as a farmer, I am understanding it from your decisions and what you told me. But then in the industry, I am not putting it in perspective of me being a political animal as MPP and being whipped in line. I'm coming from the perspective of someone who has been in the industry for 19 years and bringing that industry experience to bear. And so all these years, we have been trading cocoa basis forward trading. Okay. And so if you have this issue, if you had done your forward sales before, during the time that you were increasing the price, when the price was at $7,200 per ton, basis that you gave us that first increment. If you had even done that and done the forward sales basis that and done whatever sales you wanted to do, 90% of whatever, 600,000 metric tons, then we wouldn't have had this problem now, because at least we would have secured the farmer for 1 year. And we didn't have had that issue. But it's basically a trading decision that Cocoa Board did. And they did that, and then they are facing the consequences now. If it had been the opposite, that the prices were going up, they would have cashed in on that. So the main thing is for Cocoa Board to take responsibility and say, yes, we have made a trading decision and we are facing the consequences. But trying to pass the buck and bring in all sorts of issues which, are untenable is not what we are looking for. Because in 2017, all these reasons that they are assigning were prevalent. But the government, based on its decisions, did not make the cocoa farmer suffer. Okay, so this is basically our stand, that they should not say, oh, this, that. They should say that this is basically a trading decision gone wrong.
But now that we have been told that Ivory Coast is following in our line, then it tells us that the government's choice was the best choice.
So let me put it in context. Ivory Coast have been doing this all this while. So in the cocoa season, you have the main crop and you have the light crop. So main crop beans are usually bigger because there's rain and that. And they are usually bigger. And those are the ones that we usually send out to the international market. We sell to our clients outside. And light crop beans are usually given to the local, processors to use. For Ivory Coast, they have it in a way that in the light crop, they usually reduce the price so that they can sell it cheap locally. For Ghana, because we have the forward trading, we usually secure the price for the year. So it doesn't matter whether it's main crop or light crop, we give the same price for the year. Ivory Coast has a different system. So we cannot now backtrack and fall on the Ivory Coast system just because we've been hit.
So Ivory Coast is not a good reference point, you see?
It is not, because they have their system that they use and we have ours.
But whatever system they use couldn't have been better than our system, because if their system was better than our system, our farmers would smuggle cocoa abroad. But since our farmers are not smuggling cocoa abroad, then it means our system is better than theirs. And if our system is better than theirs, regardless of what they do, we are still doing better, isn't it?
So smuggling happens on two conditions. Smuggling happens when your price is low and their price is high, right? And it has happened before.
Yes, but now our prices are equal.
Especially along the borders.
Yeah, I'm
right?
saying that, but now our prices are equal.
Yes.
So if our prices are equal, and it just tells you that is the best price that we can have.
If we had secured the contract on forward sales from somewhere like July or August when the price came, our price would have still been around 3,600. It still have been higher, much higher than Ivory Coast. Okay. So it's not about, so you say, oh, because we are still 2,005 and they are 1,000 something, ours is better. But the fact is that what could you have given the farmer more? You could have given him 1,000 Ghana cedis more. If your decision was right.
You were once a general manager of a company. If you were the man managing Ghana, would you agree to sell or buy at a price that you know you cannot go and sell at currently, based on the current situation, where you have beans that you can only sell at 2,500? Would you, as a manager, agree to go and sell it at 3,600?
If I was the one managing Ghana, I would have taken the forward sales. I would have thought of the farmers and secured their future for 1 year, and wouldn't have come back to this situation as we speak now.
Even where the previous manager made you fail to get the syndication that you used to get in the past, which would have supported you.
That is the narrative they are telling us now.
Is it not true that
the narrative they are telling us now is that the previous manager made us fail the syndication? But the narration they are refusing to give us is on what basis did they say that they have sold 82% of our beans when they didn't have syndication?
Are cocoa farmers really angry, or it is MPP people who are angry?
Well, I mean, this question we should be posing to cocoa farmers.
I'm posing this because we've not seen. I mean, we've seen some of them come and demonstrate, but we spoke to others who also say, "Listen, just give us what we have, and then we'll go out and do our farming." And are we seeing an indication of anger in the farm where people would say, "We will not farm any longer because of A, B, C, D," or we are seeing people say, "Well, this is what we can get. Let's do it and move on with our life," and yet MPP MPs are screaming horse?
We are seeing both. We are seeing both because the farmer basically now has been left with no choice. Okay, so I mean, what is he going to do with his farm now? So the government says, "This is what I can give." What choice does he have? He doesn't have any choice. So he will take it. But they are angry, but they have to take it. They are angry, but they don't have a choice. So these are two situations that are playing at the same time.
There you are.
So that's it. That is it. I mean, if you want to really, I mean, put yourself in the farmer's shoes, really. Would you really have had 3,006 or 2,005? And that is basically the basic question that you ask yourself. Amidst high electricity bills and all that stuff, what would you really have?
I would rather ask you a different question. Why did you decide to go to Parliament?
Good question. So, in my scheme of things, I'm a people person. I've been always, dealing with people, farmers, all this stuff.
Okay.
So in my scheme of things, I was, every year before I joined Parliament, I started this since 2011. I went to my hometown, did some donations, house cleaning, donations to widows, to orphans. And so it was through these things, that interventions I was providing, that a few friends said that, why don't you just come on board? And this was in 2018. So I gave it a thought, and I said, okay, I'm a people person, and sometimes I want a platform to be able to affect lives better. And then in politics, if you are a member of parliament, you get access to funding, you get access to resources that are not your own, that you can use and then manage it to better the lives of people. And so I said, okay, why not go? So I went in first as an organizer for my party. And constituency organizer. And that was in 2022, May. I won massively. And then, so my tenure should have ended this year, May.
Okay. So you're still the constituency organizer?
No, because I had to resign. So in September 2023, the party gave directive or indication that anyone who was interested in running for the primaries, but then was a constituency or executive, should resign by 20th September. So I resigned and then joined the race. And then the race happened in 2024 January, and I won. So I
24 December.
January 2024. So
okay. So the internal primary. Did
yes.
you defeat your incumbent MP, or he didn't?
No, she didn't contest.
Oh, okay,
she was a two-time MP. She is the first youngest female MP ever, because she entered Parliament at 22. Francisca Otin-Mensah.
Oh,
yes.
From KNUS's.
Yes,
yeah.
straight.
I remember her.
Yeah,
okay.
So after 2 times, she didn't contest. So I went with the sitting MC, then the former presiding member, myself, and 2 other.
And you beat them well?
Not too well. I mean, because people have sentiments like, oh, we have voted for you just recently as an organizer. You haven't served your term. Why are you coming in? And I entered politics very late. Like I got into the race in 2021 October. Okay. This is when people saw me.
Wow.
So for me to come 2021 October, win 2022 May, and then go 2024, people thought that, but I felt that, I had the capacity.
Francisca did 2 terms and gave up.
Yeah.
Will you give up too after 2 terms or 1 term? Or you are yet to think of it?
That is not, if left to me alone, that is not my thinking. I have few plans for the constituency, and I do not think 2 terms will elapse enough. But however, I am someone who believes in the providence of God. I don't really say that this is it and it has to be it. I live looking at the trajectory, how I have come through, as a human being, and how I've come in my managerial career, in my career as a whole, and even through becoming a member of parliament. No one would have thought that coming into politics for 3 years, you win 3 major elections in 3 years and become a member of parliament.
So there's a miracle working somewhere.
I think so. I know so.
Is Kwabri East an MPP seat?
Yes, it is a strong MPP seat.
From TTT?
From TTT.
NDC has never won?
NDC has never won.
So what is the vote difference?
It's massive. So, perspective into context, it has given the MPP the highest votes in 3 consecutive elections, 2016, 2020, 2024. Even in 2024, that we lost 49,000 people didn't vote in my constituency in 2024. However, the gap between me and the NDC contender was 41,000 votes.
Oh, so your voter population is over 100,000?
It's 146,000. I think it's about the 9th or 8th in Ghana. In the Ashanti regions, the largest constituency in terms of voter population.
Not Bantama?
No. Kwabri East is the largest, 146,000.
Where is Kwabri East located? Is it an urban constituency or
it's a
rural
peri-urban. It borders 7 other constituencies. So it borders Tafo Pankrono, it borders Efija Kwabri South, it borders Menchia North, Jabin, Ejoso, Setre.
So you are the outskirts of Kumasi. You are the outskirts of Kumasi.
So just after Tafo Pankrono, you are in Kwabri East. Okay. So it's basically in Kumasi.
You said you have a lot of things you want to do for the constituency. For which reason you do not intend to leave now? What are some of the things you plan for your constituency?
A lot. So let's take education. Basically education, infrastructure. There are some shortages in educational infrastructure. So classroom blocks. I have secured some funding for classroom blocks in Wono. There are various places, Kasem, library facility in Fade and Ebra, and also some 6 classroom block at funded at Jumem. So education, in terms of priority, education is the biggest priority, which is why a chunk of my common fund is going into educational support. And also for non-formal education, informal education, we have secured another funding of 1 million Ghana cedis to construct skills training center, which will have, so skills training center will have the artisans like the hairdressers and tailors, and then the ICT component of it. And then you come to, so Kwabri East also, as big as it is, it doesn't have a commercial bank. There's no one single commercial bank in Kwabri East.
Wow.
Yes. So the population per the census in 2021 was around 296,000 and over. So, I mean, how many years? 5 years down the line, even if you are looking at a 2% average growth rate, then you are hitting well over 330,000.
No commercial bank. Does it mean that your people don't have money?
They do have money. So it's quite strange that commercial banks have not found it expedient to have, because there are about four big markets: Esha market, Mamponte market, Kenyasi market, Asnomaso and Kwanta market. And you know, when you come to
but are there other businesses?
Yes.
Like telcos?
Telcos, they are not there. There's not even one. So it's
so
just
if you want to
an
buy a SIM
agency
card, you can
for MTN. I mean, you can get an agency for MTN in Fade.
You have a radio station?
There's no radio station. It's Alpha Radio, which is just at the outskirts. Just
Alpha Radio, our partner,
just
104.9.
Tafo Pankrono, yes. So you have Alpha Radio there, and just recently we've had Sompa. So it's just bordering at the border of Tafo Pankrono. You have Alpha Radio, and then you have Sompa FM.
Do you have a hospital, a district hospital?
Oh yes. So we have Asonoma Zone, we have Mampontein.
District hospital?
Yes, district hospital.
But you don't have a general hospital?
There's no general hospital. There was Agenda 111 construction ongoing, but it has stalled because of all these things. So basically,
you have a secondary school. How many secondary schools?
Yes, 6 private secondary, 6 government secondary schools.
All in
and
your
one
constituency?
private one, which is called OLAG, Our Lady of Grace. I mean, they are very good because they recently in the World Robotics Championships, they won 3 medals. They won first place robotics, 3rd and 4th place.
So as MP, it's your duty now. Try and bring a little more
exactly.
business.
So I have. So we've written letters to our 14 banks. 2 have responded, which are positive responses.
Don't write letter. Go to them.
I have gone to them. So I've written, went, have meetings.
Unless maybe if they know that they'll come and set up the bank, nothing will come inside.
No, it will come. So Access and EcoBank were the ones who gave us very positive response.
Very well.
Access are now looking for a place. The place that we got for them, they said it was too small. So they are looking for another place, and EcoBank too. So we have 2 major lines.
Okay.
Lines.
By the end, we have to go, but by the end of 2028 into 2029, when you finish your first term, what will be the one major thing you want to finish in your constituency or point to and say this has been done?
Well, not one, quite a lot. So
no, I know you have a lot. So one, I just want one big one. Or I should give it 3.
One big, give me 3.
3, quick one.
So tourism, develop the tourism potential, linking Esha, which is like where the wood carving is there, Esha and Tonso, there's a Dinkra, and then Adangomase, to the new place the new tourism site on block, which is called Truba, the Enclave.
So that's one.
That's one. Then you go to the road network, where there are 2 major roads left now, which is the Antwerp Road, spanning from Ebrim, Antwerp to Ebra, which is my hometown, and then the Ono Road, where Sir John comes from. And coincidentally, these 2 towns are where my father and my mom come from. So it's like my two hometowns, their road network is bad. So that's one, getting the road network fixed. And then secondly, the last one is the skills development and employment, and where by 2028 I hope to have finished the skills training center, which will have the artisans there, and then the youth, employ a chunk of some of the youth in the constituency, and then it will be a stepping stone for other things to be done. So basically, with these three, when these three things are done, I will be very happy. And there are a lot of things like the AstroTurfs.
Yeah.
I've tackled the...
okay, but I just give you 3. So I know there are more, but just say we find for now.
So
I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Mary.
Akwesi Jemfi Onyina Achampon. Your name's plenty too much.
Yes.
Member of Parliament, Kwabre East in the Ashanti region. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. I was produced tonight by Kwabena Wilson, Beverly London, Sami Wiafifre Tete Jabano, Julian Odami Asari, and the technical support from Desmond Nyakun, the new media team led by Edwin Kwakofi. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.